You do not infiltrate a fortress. That's the unbreakable law of warfare. A fortress isn't a building, it's a statement. A declaration that everything you value is placed inside walls no ordinary soldier can breach. For centuries, generals taught the same doctrine. If the enemy controls a cliffside stronghold, surrounded by ice, guarded by hundreds, cross-watched by machine guns, protected by floodlights, wrapped in a gorge, and built like a concrete skull, you do not attempt to slip inside, you surround. You starve. You bombard. But you do not enter. The Germans embraced this doctrine with religious confidence. They fortified the Norse hydro plant at Vemork, the only industrial-scale heavy water facility in the world, like it was the heart of their most sacred dream, because in many ways it was. Vemork meant one thing: Germany might reach the nuclear threshold before anyone else. So they guarded it with nearly 300 soldiers, searchlights bright enough to erase shadows, patrols circling every 30 minutes, minefields, checkpoints, steel doors, and a gorge so deep the wind changed direction in its throat. Experts in London called it impregnable. Norwegian engineers said the terrain itself would kill you before the Germans did. And after a British glider raid in 1942 left 41 men dead and 10 executed, the rule became gospel. No one gets inside Vemork. But in the winter of 1943, a 23-year-old Norwegian with quiet eyes and steady hands walked into that fortress and shattered the rule forever. Joachim Ronneberg doesn't fit the silhouette of a myth. He isn't towering or broad-shouldered. He doesn't carry himself like a soldier forged in battles. He's wiry, bright, deliberate, an athlete from Aalesund who grew up skiing across mountain ridges and ice-thick valleys. And that background matters, because in Norway, skiing is a sport that's survival. When Germany invaded in 1940, Ronneberg fled across the mountains to escape occupation. In Britain, he enrolled in the Special Operations Executive, the covert organization designed to set Europe ablaze with sabotage. He proved exceptional at one thing: attention. 2. Detail. Instructors noticed he tied ropes perfectly. He calculated fuse lengths in his head. He remembered terrain after one glance. He moved quietly, thought quickly, and never made the same mistake twice. By late 1942, the Allies are desperate. Intelligence services in London and Washington are terrified by the trickle of information coming from Norway. Germany is collecting heavy water, measured in kilograms per month, accelerating research into nuclear fission. Nobody knows how close the Germans truly are, but everyone senses danger. And then the horror. The British glider attack, Operation Freshman, fails catastrophically. 2 aircraft crash. Survivors captured, executed. The Nazis fortify Vemork even further. At this moment of fear, the mission shifts, not to soldiers, not to bomber crews, but to Norwegians who understand the mountains, the cold, the terrain, and the psychology of their occupied homeland. To men like Joachim Ronneberg, he is called into a small room in London, given a map of Telemark, and told a simple truth: if you fail, Germany may get the bomb. The pressure is almost unbearable. The stakes? Civilization level. He spends weeks studying blueprints of the facility, diagrams of the gorge, guard rotation schedules, and recordings from surviving Norwegian scouts already on the plateau. By January 1943, he selects his team: Knut Hauklid, Frederick Kaiser, Casper Eidlund, Hans Storhag, Birger Stromsheim, and himself, 6 men. They will parachute into the wildest, coldest plateau in Norway. They will survive on minimal rations. They will infiltrate Vemork from a direction no sane planner would choose. And they will destroy the heavy water cells before Germany can recover from the first explosion. You stand beside Ronneberg on the night before the drop, wind buffeting the fuselage, parachute straps tight across your chest. He checks each buckle on every man. Twice, when he reaches you, he says 4 words: "Precision keeps us alive." Then he steps into the night sky, and the mission begins. The aircraft engines roar at 600 meters above the frozen plateau. Wind slices the fuselage. The red light blinks. Ronneberg grips the frame. Green. He jumps. For a moment, you're weightless. Nothing but wind, darkness, and the cold tearing at your face. Then the chute snaps open. Silence swallows the world. Below, an infinite white desert. Snow dunes stretching for kilometers. Temperatures near minus 30 degrees Celsius. You land hard, roll, rise, gather your chute, and signal point one by one. The rest of the gunner side team land safely. Ronneberg checks the stash of supplies hidden months earlier by the failed British operation. Half are ruined by storms. Some are frozen solid. So the team begins a 5-day ski trek through blizzards and ice-crusted winds. Calories burned, 5,000 per day. Calories consumed, 1,200. Hunger becomes a constant throb. Cold gnaws the fingertips, but they keep moving. On the 5th day, they join the Norwegian scouts who survived alone on the plateau for months. Gaunt, frostbitten, hollow-eyed, they greet Ronneberg with tears. Now reunited, the full team begins planning the assault. February 27, 1943.21:00. A storm is rolling over the plateau, hurling snow sideways like shards of glass. But storms create blindness for the Germans too. So the team moves. You ski single file behind Ronneberg. Wind speed, 40 mph visibility, 15 meters, snow depth, waist-high drifts. After 4 hours, the storm breaks just enough to reveal Vemork across the gorge, glowing under floodlights. It looks impossible. That IT feels hostile. IT radiates German certainty. Ronneberg studies it through binoculars, counting guards, pacing their steps. He finally whispers a decision. We go down the ravine, under the bridge, come up the back way. The others stare. It sounds insane that no one has attempted that route, ever. But the bridge is too heavily guarded and the pipe route too exposed. This is the only path left. You crawl to the lip of the gorge. Wind howls upward, tossing ice into your eyes. The drop, 60 meters straight down onto frozen rocks. Ronneberg anchors a rope around a boulder, tests it, leans back, and descends. The rope vibrates. Ice scrapes your gloves. Breath freezes in your mask. 50 meters, 40-30. Boots hit the floor of the gorge with a muted thud. One by one, the team follows. Kaiser slips. Hawklid grabs him. Barely. A fall here means death with no chance of retrieval. At the bottom, the cold is carnivorous. A living thing that clings to bone. The gorge funnels the wind into a constant metallic shriek. Above you, a German sentry crosses the bridge. You hear his boots. You hear him yawn. You hear him spit into the snow. Ronneberg counts the pacing. 12 steps. Pause. Turn. 12 steps. He signals. You climb the far side of the gorge using hands and knees. Ice cracking under gloves. Snow giving way unexpectedly. Muscles burn. Heart hammers. When you reach the top, every man collapses for a moment, gasping silently. In the distance, the fortress hums with electricity. The team moves in 3 elements. Demo team, Ronneberg, Stromsheim. Cover team, Kaiser, Eidland. Perimeter team, Hawklid, Storhog. At 0:30, they reach a building near the plant that houses a cable tunnel. The door is unlocked. Unlocking a door in the heart of German fortifications feels like divine intervention. Inside, warmth, steam piping, the smell of oil and metal. Footsteps echo above. 2 guards speaking about the cold. The hallway is dim. Pipes hiss. Shadows flicker. You slip deeper toward the electrolysis chamber. There it is, the beating heart of Germany's nuclear program. 18 cells lined up in a row, towering over you like steel monoliths, each producing 0.5 kilograms of heavy water per day. On the floor, drums stacked, glass tubes, pressure gauges. Ronneberg drops to one knee, unpacks the explosives, exact weights, 3.5 kilograms of plastic explosive per charge, detonators clipped, Fuse is trimmed to 30 seconds. He whispers to Stromsheim, slow, precise, no mistakes. They slot each charge under the tanks, wrapping them around pipes, tightening cords. The building hums like a living organism. Then footsteps. Heavy. Close. A German supervisor is walking toward the chamber. You freeze as so still your heartbeat becomes thunder inside your ribs. The man hesitates, sniffs, mutters about the draft, turns away. The team exhales. Ronneberg sets the final charge, lights his fuse, whispers, "Out. Now." 30 seconds. You sprint down the corridor. Pipes blur. Shadows stretch. 25, that boots pound against concrete. 20, that you slam into the outer door. 15, that snow hits your face. Freezing shock. 10, that you dive behind a rail embankment. 5, Ronneberg shouts. Down. The explosion tears the night apart. A metallic scream about a pressure wave that crushes your chest. Glass shatters. Heavy water floods the floor. Machinery rattles like dying animals. You look at Ronneberg. He nods once. Floodlights blaze. Alarms howl. German voices, dozens, ripple across the complex. Ronneberg orders a team to split as planned. Confusion equals life. You sprint into the mountains. Snow stings your face. Lungs burn with every breath. Behind you, 287 German soldiers scramble into the darkness. Dogs barking, trucks grinding, boots pounding. For 48 hours, they hunt you relentlessly. But you outski them to outhide them to outstarve them. On the third day, you cross the Swedish border. The mission is done, and history is about to shift. If you find this kind of forgotten history as fascinating as we do, we'd be honored if you'd hit that subscribe button. We believe these stories of courage and genius deserve to be told. And by subscribing, you help us ensure they aren't forgotten. German command is furious. Investigators estimate that the Sabotage destroyed months' worth of heavy water production. They report to Berlin. Sabotage by hostile agents. Entry undetected. All charges correctly placed. Production must be restored from scratch. Hitler is shocked that anyone entered his untouchable fortress. What they didn't know was that the dominoes had already started falling. When Vemork struggles to restart, the Reich orders all remaining heavy water transported to Germany, 14,000 liters. It is loaded onto the ferry DF Hydro. Norwegian resistance members discover the plan. They plan an explosive. The ferry sinks into Lake Tin, taking every drop of heavy water with it. Germany's nuclear project is forced into humiliating retreat. It loses time, personnel, momentum, funding. Allied physicists later conclude, with uninterrupted production, Germany might have reached nuclear capability a year earlier. A year earlier could mean a very different 1944 out of different Normandy, a different world. But because 6 men rewrote the rule of the fortress, the world never meets a German bomb. After the war, Joachim Ronneberg returns to Norway not as a conqueror, but as a quiet, humble man. He shuns praise. He refuses to glamorize what he and his team endured. He says they weren't heroes, just Norwegians who wanted their country back. He becomes a broadcaster, a historian, a mentor to young Norwegians who cannot fathom what it means to ski into a blizzard holding the fate of the free world in your hands. His teammates, Kaiser, Eidlund, Haukelid, Storhog, Stromsheim, return to ordinary lives with extraordinary memories. Memories of cold, terror, courage, and brotherhood. Ronneberg lives to be 99 years old, the last survivor of Operation Gunnerside. Every year, he tells school children that freedom isn't a gift, it's a duty, and that is why this story matters now. Because courage often looks like sixth in, freezing men refusing to accept that something is impossible. Their legacy is not the explosion, it's the reminder that human will can bend the shape of history. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering. We're dedicated to rescuing these forgotten stories from the archives. If you want to join us on this mission, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city or state, and tell us if someone in your family served. Thank you for ensuring that Joachim Ronneberg and the 6 men of Operation Gunnerside do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered